In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a front-end categories and tags management page using Frontend Admin and Elementor Pro. So if you come here, you can see the categories section where I can manage my categories. I can add a new category here, and I can view, edit, and delete my existing categories. If I close this up, I can open up the tags tab, and we have the same idea. I can add new tags on the left, and I can view, edit, and delete my existing tags. So let's get started. The first step is to make sure that only administrators and editors can see this page. Let's open up a incognito window, and let's try to get to this page when we're not logged in. I'm going to the Manage My Site page, and as you can see, I'm being redirected to the home page, where I have a list of categories, and if I click on them, I can see the different cars based on the categories. But in order to see the Manage My Site page, I have to log in. Now let's log in as an editor. Brings me back to this page, but I'm now logged in. And as you can see, I have a Manage Site page. Let's click on that, and we're taken to this page where we can manage the site. So how do we accomplish this? So the first step is to make sure that editors can't get to the WP dashboard, because we want them to manage the categories from here and not from the WP dashboard. And the second step is to make sure that unauthorized users can't get to this page. So for the first problem, let's log in as an administrator. And let's go into the WP dashboard, because that's where we're going to be working. And as you can see here, I'm logged in as an administrator. Scroll down to where it says Frontend Admin and click on Settings. Now click on Dashboard, and I'm going to want to turn on this setting, Hide WP Dashboard. So by default it's off, and now let's turn it on. And I want the following roles to be redirected to the Manage Site page. Manage My Site. Let's save the settings. And so administrators will still be able to see the WP dashboard, but I want everyone else to manage the site, to manage what they need to manage from the front end. Now that we've done that, let's test this out. Now as the editor, let's go back to our incognito window, and let's type in WP Admin. WP Admin. As you can see, I'm being redirected to this page where I can manage the categories, tags, and site details, and nothing else. I can't rebuild the website with Elementor. I have specific things that I'm able to manage, and everything else is up to the administrator. So now that we've done that, we have to make sure that no one else but editors can access this page. So in order to do that, we have to log in again as an administrator and click on Pages. And let's open up the Manage My Site page. Now this page is already built with Elementor, but the reason we're here is because there's Frontend Admin settings here on the bottom, which control who can view this page. And if non-authorized personnel try to access this page, they'll be redirected to the home page. So let me show you how you can set that up. Down here on the bottom, click on Limit Visibility. And now you can choose if logged in users, logged out users, or all users can access this page. We're going to choose only logged in users, and only logged in users with these two roles, administrator and editors. Any users who have other roles, like subscribers, contributors, and authors, will be redirected to the home page, as you can see here. This is the default. You can change this to whatever page you want. In the future, we're also going to allow you to add content here instead of redirecting. Save this. Let's test that out. Let's try. Let's try to access this page when we're logged out. Let's log out. And now let's try to access the Manage My Site page. As you can see, I'm being redirected to the home page. Good, it's working. So now let's build the Manage My Site page. Let's log in as an administrator, and Let's click on Edit with Elementor. So as you can see here, I actually have the whole thing built already, and this template will actually be downloadable in the description below. If you want to skip building it yourself, you can do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this whole thing and rebuild it from scratch to show you how you can build it, customize to your needs. Let's show it in tabs. And let's call the first tab categories and tags and site details. And in the first tab, I'm going to drag in a container. And this container is going to have two columns. So actually, oh, I see we already have a container for from the tab itself. So let's just duplicate this container. And in the tab container, let's choose for the direction to be horizontal, so that way it'll be side by side. Now let's drag this a little bit. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have the form to add a new category on the left side and the list of categories together with their delete and edit buttons on the right side. So click here on add element and search for add a term. And so we have two options. We have the nestable element where you can add any Elementor element into here, or you can have you have the new taxonomy form, which is it's all built in, but the caveat of that is that you can't add elements into the form. So let's actually use the nestable one, and in order to enable this, you have to turn on nestable nested elements in the Elementor options. I'll actually show you how to do that in a different video, and I'm going to add the link in the description below. So the first thing you'll see is that it says by default this form is only visible to administrators. It's actually visible to editors as well, because this whole page we made visible to editors, so we'll pick up on that. But if you want to show this page, if you want to show this form on a different page, which is visible to everyone, you might want to configure the permissions under the permissions tab. Next, let's look at the fields. Everything looks great, but the thing is we want to have a image field. So there's two options. Either you can add an ACF field. So I actually have an ACF field that I added, and in order to add ACF fields to this form, all you have to do is type ACF, and you'll see this ACF fields widget. Drag and drop that in, and you can choose your field group, or you can choose it by field. Let's choose the whole entire categories meta field group, and this will give me an image field. And make sure that it says save custom fields to is set to term, and so that way it will actually save it to the categories and won't try to save it to a post or to the user. Okay, great. So that's it. We have our add new term form. Now, before we test this out, let's first create the categories loop so that when we add a new term, we'll be able to see it here on the right. So click add element and look for loop grid. Loop grid. And we're going to drag that in. And here, make sure to choose the template type, post taxonomy. That way it will know that we're looping through taxonomies and not through posts. And so let's create our own template. I actually already created a template, and as I said, it's downloadable in the description below. But for now, let's create our own template, and it's going to ask you to save the changes of the whole page. And now we're creating the template for each loop item. So let's go ahead and add the title of the category. That's important. So heading, and we're going to want to use dynamic tags for this. So scroll down to archive title, because this is actually an archive. Now the thing is, Elementor Pro doesn't have any way to show that category slug. So for that, we actually have a feature in Frontend Admin. So search for the term slug field and just drag that in. Now here under display mode, you're going to want to choose read only because you don't want to show a field. You want to show the actual slug. So just choose read only. And now it should show the slug. Now, for some reason here in the template, it's not showing that, but on the front end, it will. Now we're going to go ahead and add the image. So let's drag in an image element, and under the dynamic tags, let's choose ACF field and choose the image key. And so now we can see our image already. Now, last but not least, we're going to want to show our edit and delete buttons. And we're actually going to show it like this, side by side. So the way we do that is we actually pull in a container. And this container, we're going to make the direction go horizontal. And we're going to add here first the delete button. So search for delete button. This is a Frontend Admin element. Just drag that in. And there you have it. You have your delete button. Here it says the same thing. By default, it will only be visible to administrators. Scroll down to permissions and just add a rule and say show to administrators and editors. Great, so now we're going to add our edit term form. And so in order to do that, let's go into add element and search for edit taxonomy. And here we're just going to choose the built-in edit taxonomy form where everything is built in, because we're not going to have to drag any elements in there. And let's just drag it right here beside the delete button. And I know what you're thinking, it's very stuffed, but the truth is we're going to put it into a little pop-up button. As you can see here, they're side by side. The two buttons are side by side, and if you click on edit, it opens up this little pop-up that allows you to edit the term from here. So let's configure the form. As you can see, all we have now is the term name. So let's go ahead and add an item and scroll down until you find term slug. And we just need to add ACF fields here. Let's add the image field. And there you go. We have all of the fields that we need. And now let's scroll down to modal window and click on show in modal. And let's change this text to edit. Okay, great. So we have the edit button, we have the delete button, and they're showing side by side. And let's just center everything. And there's something, there's some margin here. So let's just go ahead and under this, I can see there's some margin here on the top. Let's use some CSS. Click, say selector ACF field margin ACF field and margin 0. There we go. And as you can see here, the two buttons are side by side. And now let's make sure that this image is not too high. Let's make it 200 pixels high. And let's set the width to 100%. And now it looks a little bit weird, so let's change the object fit to cover. So now it looks great. Let's go ahead and save and see how it looks within the categories loop. And there you have it. We have our title, slug, and the image, and the delete and edit buttons. Let's go ahead and add permissions here too, so that we get rid of this message. Just go ahead and choose editor, so that it shows up for editors as well. Okay, so there you have it. I'm logged in as an editor, and now I can see add a new category form and the list of categories. Now let's log out, and let's see if we can see it as an author, let's say. So let's log in as an author. Here I have an author account. And now I have this manage site button. Let's see if it takes us there. No, it's bringing us here. In future videos, we're going to show how we can create a manage site button for authors in order to allow each author to manage their part of the site, which is their posts, maybe subcategories. So now let's log out, because now we're logged in as the author, and we'll log in again as the editor. Log in as editor. Okay, I went in and changed the colors real quick because it was driving me a little crazy how ugly it was before. Yeah, but now we have these tab, and we can click on tags. We don't get anything, site details, we don't get anything, but in the categories, we have all of our categories listed, and we have an add new category form. So let's add a new category. Let's say pickup trucks. And the term slug we're actually going to leave alone because it automatically generates that. And let's add from the media library a picture of a pickup truck. We have one here. Here we go. This is from pexels.com. And submit. And as you can see here, our category has been added. And the slug has been automatically generated. Now let's test the edit function. Let's change this to pickup truck instead of pickup trucks. And submit. Let's see if the edit takes effect. There you go. Now let's try the delete option. Let's try deleting this category. Alright, good. So it looks like everything's working in the categories tab. Now let's build the tags tab. So we're just going to copy a lot of this and reconfigure some of the settings. So click on this container, not the tab container, but on the container of the add new term form. And you're going to want to just copy that and go into the tags tab and paste. We're actually going to reconfigure this to add new tags instead of categories. And we actually didn't do this with the categories because by default, an add new term form will add new categories. Go under the term tab, and as you can see here, new term is selected, and that's good. And under taxonomy, we're going to want to choose tag. Now, if you have any other custom taxonomies that you want your users, editors or authors to be able to add from the front end, you can choose them here. So let's go ahead and choose tag. And now this form is reconfigured to add new tags. We're actually going to get rid of this image field because on this website, the tags don't have images. So let's go ahead and copy the loop to show all of our tags. So go ahead and right click and click copy and go into the tags tab and do the same thing. Click paste, and now we'll see our loop. And so under the tab container, go ahead and change the direction to horizontal so that we'll see them side by side. Oh, so what's going on here is it's showing it inside of this container. So drag that and drag that right next to the new term form. And now it's side by side. So we have the loop of of our existing tags on the right side and the new tag form on the left side. But I know what you're thinking, these are categories. So again, we're going to go into this, the loop grid settings, and we're going to change the taxonomy under query. You can see here it says source, and this is the source where we want to pull in these terms from. So just pull them in from tags. So now it's pulling in all the tags. Add any tags you want here and edit and delete them. And we actually don't even need to do anything in this template because the edit and delete buttons will automatically detect the term and the term ID and will edit and delete these terms. And they won't edit and delete categories, for example. So there you have it. We built the tags template, and as I said, this will all be downloadable from the description below. And I'm also going to add this tags template as well. So you can download this template with the tags as well instead of having to rebuild it all by yourself. Okay, so now that we did that, let's go ahead and add the site details while we're at it. So we have the site details. This is actually really easy. Let's go ahead and type in edit site form and just drag that in and drop it right there. Your editor is able to edit the site details from the front end. We have a site title, tagline, and site logo. And if you have any ACF fields that save to the options, you can add them here. I actually don't right now, but let's say I did and I chose this, for example, and it was meta for the site. I would add that here, and under Save Custom Fields too, I would choose Site Options. Yeah, so there you have it. We built a front-end categories and tags management page. So please stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and give us a big like. Thank you so much.